Once upon a time, in a small town far away, there lived a little girl named Lila. She was only 7 years old. Lila had big brown eyes, long curly hair, and a smile that could light up a room. She loved to draw, read picture books, and play with her small kitten named Snowy. Lila lived happily with her mother and father. They were not rich, but they had a warm and cozy house. Her parents loved her very much. Every night, her mother told her bedtime stories. Her father made her laugh with silly jokes. Lila felt safe and loved. But one day, everything changed. Lila's mother became very sick. She had to stay in bed for many days. Lila was scared. She sat beside her mother and held her hand. "Will you be okay, Mama?" Lila asked softly. Her mother smiled weakly. "I love you, my little Lila," she said. "Always remember that." A few days later, her mother passed away. Lila cried for many days. She missed her mother's stories, hugs, and warm smile. Her house felt empty. Her father was very sad too. Her father said, "Lila, I think it's time to bring someone new into our lives. You need a mother." Lila didn't know what to say. She didn't want a new mother. She only wanted the one she lost. But her father was sure. A few months later, her father married a woman named Vera. Vera had a daughter of her own, a girl named Myra. Myra was the same age as Lila, but very different. She was quiet, and she did not smile much. She didn't want to share her toys or her room. Lila tried to be kind to Myra, but Myra often ignored her. At first, Vera smiled at Lila. "We are family now," she said. "You must call me Mother." "Vera," Lila tried to be polite. "Yes, Mother Vera," she said, though her voice was small and unsure. But soon, things started to change. Vera was not kind like Lila's real mother. She made Lila do all the housework. She told her to sweep the floors, wash the dishes, and clean the rooms. "You must work hard if you want to live here," Vera said. "But what about Myra?" Lila asked. "Myra is my daughter," Vera said sharply. "She does not need to clean." Myra sat on the sofa, eating sweets and watching television, while Lila scrubbed the floor. Lila missed her old life. She missed her mother's love. She missed her father's laughter. Now, her father worked late every day. When he came home, Vera always smiled and said, "Lila was fine today." But she never told him the truth. Lila wanted to tell her father what was happening, but Vera always watched her closely. And when her father was not home, Vera's face changed. She no longer smiled. Her eyes were cold. "Don't tell your father anything," she said. "He will not believe you." Lila felt scared and alone. One day, Lila saw her father in the garden. She ran to him and hugged him tightly. "Papa," she said, "can we talk?" But before she could say more, Vera came outside. "Oh dear," Vera said with a smile. "Lila just wanted to say thank you for the new books." Lila looked down at the ground. Her heart was heavy. That night, Lila cried in her bed. Snowy, her kitten, curled up beside her. She hugged the small cat and whispered, "I miss Mama." From that night on, Lila often cried herself to sleep. She missed her mother more each day. Her father was still kind to her, but he was always busy with work. Vera and Mira ruled the house. Vera gave Lila more chores. "You will clean the windows today," she said one morning. "After that, scrub the bathroom. Don't waste time." Lila worked hard every day. Her hands were tired. Her knees hurt from scrubbing the floor. Mira just watched her and laughed. "Look at the little maid," Mira said. "You should wear rags like a real servant." Lila wanted to cry, but she stayed quiet. One day, while cleaning the attic, Lila found an old box. Inside was a small notebook. It had a red cover and a tiny golden lock. The key was still inside the box. Lila opened it carefully. It was her mother's old journal. She read the first page. "To my dear Lila, if you are reading this one day, know that you are strong, kind, and brave. Never forget how special you are." Lila held the notebook close. For the first time in many weeks, she felt a warm feeling in her heart. She decided to write in the notebook every night, just like her mother did. She would tell the truth. Maybe one day someone would read it. That night, after finishing her chores, Lila sat by the window and wrote, "Dear Mama, today Vera made me clean all day again. Mira called me a servant. I tried to tell Papa, but Vera stopped me. I feel so alone. I miss you. Love, Lila." Every night she wrote more. It became her secret. The journal gave her hope. One weekend, Vera told Lila to stay home and clean while she and Mira went shopping. "You don't need new clothes," Vera said. "Mira does. You can wear her old ones." When they left, Lila cleaned the house as fast as she could. Then she went outside with Snowy and sat under a tree. She opened the journal and began to write. Suddenly, she heard a voice. "What's that?" Lila looked up. It was Mrs. Marlowe, the kind old neighbor from next door. She was holding a basket of flowers. It's just my journal," Lila said softly. Mrs. Marlowe sat beside her. "You look tired, dear. Are you okay?" Lila hesitated. She looked at the journal. She wanted to tell someone the truth. But Vera's voice echoed in her head. Don't tell your father anything. He won't believe you. Lila looked down. I'm fine, she said. But Mrs. Marlowe saw the sadness in Lila's eyes. She gently touched Lila's hand. Sweetheart, she said, if something is wrong, you can always talk to me. Lila looked at her, her eyes filled with tears. She wanted to speak, but the words were stuck. Just then, Vera's car pulled into the driveway. Lila quickly wiped her eyes and stood up. Go inside now, Vera said. And don't talk to neighbors so much. Lila hurried inside. That night, she wrote in her journal again. Mama, I met Mrs. Marlowe today. She was kind to me. I wanted to tell her everything, but I was afraid. I wish you were here. Days passed. Things got worse. She gave her old, cold food while Mira ate cakes and fruits in the living room. One night, Lila forgot to clean Mira's shoes. Vera shouted, You useless girl. You can't do anything right. She pushed Lila. Lila fell and hit her elbow. It hurt a lot. Mira laughed. Lila ran to her room. She hugged Snowy tightly and cried. Later, she took out her journal and wrote, Mama, Vera hit me today. She said, I'm useless. But I know I'm not. You always said I was special. I'll try to be strong, Mama. I promise. Outside her window, the stars were shining. Lila looked up and whispered, Are you watching me, Mama? I hope you are. Weeks passed, and Lila's days grew longer and colder in summer. One morning, while scrubbing the hallway, she overheard Vera on the phone. She's just a little pest, Vera said. Her father is too blind to see. I'll make sure she stays quiet. Lila froze. Her heart beat faster. Vera didn't love her. She only wanted to control her. Later that day, her father came home early. Lila ran to him. Papa, she said, quietly, can I talk to you? Alone. But Vera appeared instantly. Oh, she's just tired, she said sweetly. She's been helping around the house, like a good girl. Her father smiled and patted Lila's head. That's wonderful. Sweetheart, I'm proud of you. Lila looked down. The words were stuck again. That night, Lila sat by her window and wrote in her journal, Mama, I tried to talk to Papa, but Vera stopped me again. He doesn't know how bad it is. What should I do? Snowy curled up beside her. Full, she held the journal to her chest and made a wish. I wish someone would believe me. I wish someone would help. The next morning, Lila woke up early to clean the kitchen before Vera shouted at her. While putting dishes away, she dropped a glass. It shattered on the floor. Vera rushed in. "You stupid girl," she screamed. She grabbed Lila's arm roughly. "Clean it up before I tell your father. You broke everything." Lila's arm hurt badly. She cleaned in silence, fighting back tears. After Vera left, Lila ran to her room. Her hands were shaking. She opened her journal, but the journal was gone. She searched everywhere under her bed, in her drawers, behind the curtains. Nothing. Panic filled her chest. "Mira," she whispered. She rushed to Mira's room and peeked through the door. Mira was sitting on her bed, reading the journal and laughing. "Oh, this is good," Mira said aloud. "Mama, she hit me today," she mocked in a silly voice. "So sad." Lila burst into the room. "Give it back." Mira held it high in the air. "Why? You're writing lies about us." "They're not lies," Lila shouted. "It's the truth." Vera entered the room. "What's going on here?" "She's writing stories about us," Mira said. "She says you hit her." Vera grabbed the journal and flipped through the pages. She turned red. "How dare you write these things?" Lila tried to explain. "I was just writing to Mama. It's my only way to feel close to her." Vera raised her hand. Just then, the doorbell rang. Vera stopped. "Clean up, now." She threw the journal on the floor and walked out. Lila picked it up gently. But it was still hers. She hugged it close and whispered, "I won't stop writing. You can't take Mama from me." That evening, as Lila watered the garden, Mrs. Marlowe called over the fence, "Lila, is everything all right? You look upset." Lila hesitated. Then she reached into her pocket and pulled out a piece of paper from the journal. She handed it to Mrs. Marlowe. "It's from my journal," she said softly. "Please, just read it." Mrs. Marlowe unfolded the paper. Her eyes widened as she read the words. "Lila," she said gently, "have you told your father? I tried. He doesn't believe me." Mrs. Marlowe put her hand on Lila's shoulder. "Sweetheart, this is not okay. You are not alone. I'll help." Lila's eyes filled with tears. "You believe me?" "Yes, I do." That night, Lila wrote, "Mama, today, someone believed me." Mrs. Marlowe read my words. Maybe things will change now. I feel a little hope." The next day, Lila's father stayed home from work. Vera was tense. Mira stayed quiet. Mrs. Marlowe came over for tea. "I just wanted to say hello," she said sweetly as they sat in the living room. Mrs. Marlowe turned to Lila's father. "Lila is a wonderful girl, but I think she's been very sad. Maybe you haven't noticed." He looked surprised. "Sad. She's been fine, right, Vera?" Vera nodded too quickly. Mrs. Marlowe pulled out the journal page. "Lila wrote this," she said. She says she's been treated unfairly, that she's afraid. Her father read the page slowly, then again. His hands shook slightly. He looked at Vera. Is this true? Vera's face turned pale. She's just being dramatic. Is it true? He said again, louder. Lila stepped forward. Her voice small but clear. It is, Papa. I tried to tell you, but she always stopped me. He looked into her eyes, really looked, and for the first time, he saw the pain. Lila stood in the living room, her small hands gripping the edges of her torn journal. Her father stared at her, the page from her journal still in his hand. His eyes moved slowly from the paper to Vera, then back to his daughter. Vera, he said quietly, have you hurt her? Vera scoffed. Of course not. She's lying. She's always been strange, always writing stories. But this doesn't sound like a story, he said, his voice cracking. This sounds like pain. I didn't mean to. Vera began, her voice suddenly softer. She's difficult. She never listens. She needed discipline. That's not discipline, he said. That's cruelty. Lila's heart thumped. She didn't dare speak. She just looked at her father, silently begging him to believe her, to really see her. He turned to her, eyes full of sadness. Why didn't you tell me sooner? I tried, she whispered, so many times. But she always stopped me. You never saw. He dropped into the armchair, head in his hands. What have I done? That evening, Vera packed a small suitcase and slammed the bedroom door. I won't stay in a house where I'm not trusted, she hissed. Myra stood behind her, watching. For once, she didn't say a word. She glanced at Lila, and something in her face had changed, like a flicker of guilt or shame. Goodbye, then, her father said, and Vera, don't come back. Vera didn't answer. She pulled Mira by the hand, but Mira pulled away. I want to stay, Mira said, her voice quiet. I've been mean to Lila. I didn't understand. But I do now. Mira stared at her. Fine. Stay with your new little sister. She stormed out, slamming the door behind her. The silence that followed was heavy, but it felt like the sky after a storm. Clean, still, free. Days passed. Lila still woke up early, but now it was by choice. She opened the curtains. Light flooded her room. Her father knocked gently and peeked in. Good morning, he said. She smiled. Good morning, Papa. I was thinking, he said, sitting on the edge of her bed. Maybe we can do something special today. Just you and me. Lila's eyes lit up. Like what? Maybe we could go to the park, eat ice cream. And maybe, if you'd like, we could visit your mother's favorite place. Lila nodded, tears in her eyes. I'd like that. He pulled her into a hug. I'm so sorry, Lila. I missed so much. But I'm here now, and I see you. The park. Lila sat on the bench beside her father. Snowy chased butterflies nearby. They shared a big bowl of strawberry ice cream, just like her mother used to buy. For the first time in a long while, Lila laughed out loud, and then they walked to the flower garden, her mother's favorite place. Lila knelt beside a stone bench and placed a small flower there. Hi, Mama, she whispered. I miss you, but I'm okay now. I think you'd be proud. Her father stood beside her, silent, respectful. She held his hand, for the first time in years. It felt warm and safe. Back at home, Mira was waiting at the front steps. I made something, she said shyly. She handed Lila a small paper card. Inside was a simple drawing of two girls and a cat. You drew us, Lila said. Mira nodded. I was mean. I didn't know how much I hurt you. I'm sorry, Lila. Lila looked at the drawing again. Then she smiled softly. Thank you, she said. That means a lot. Later that night, Lila sat by her window again. Snowy curled at her feet. She opened her journal now, taped and fixed, but more precious than ever. She began to write, Dear Mama, things are different now. Vera is gone. Papa believes me. Mira is trying to be kind. I'm still me, but I'm no longer alone. I've learned something important. Sometimes your voice feels small, but even a small voice matters when it speaks the truth. Thank you for giving me the courage to keep writing. I love you, always. She closed the journal and looked out at the stars. The sky was clear. Her heart was full, and for the first time in her life, Lila felt truly heard and truly loved. If you enjoyed this story, please like, subscribe, and share. We'll see you in the next video.